Hi everyone, Sailor Moon here. Sailor Jupiter here, Lita here. I know we made a film together earlier this week, but we're doing it again. Today we're going to talk about the other saga that we saw on Cartoon Network or drawing show Folkwork, Grown Up Whim. This is called Jupiter, the Strong Girl of Love, which in Deke was called When Jupiter Thunder Comes Around. So it starts out that Queen Beryl is talking with Queen Metalia, and she's woken her up, and she's got enough man-like might to waken her, but not enough to keep her awake. And then she talks about the great fiends, the great seven fiends, who they need them if they want to get the folklore silver hearse. So, so Queen Beryl tells Zoisite and Malachite that the great seven fiends were locked away a long time ago by Queen Serenity and Zordon of Altor, and she's irked over it, and she needs to get the rainbow hearse. And Zoisite goes, how do we know who the rainbow hearse are? And then Queen Beryl said, well, it's Malachite, says that they were born in man-like, woman-like beings that don't even know they have a stone in them. And so they show a likeness of Game Told Joe. Well, Serena's running late, getting to learn. Luna happens to be bringing her lunch, and then Serena goes, who can worry about lunch now? I'm going to be late, and Crash hits into a man who wants to play that his leg is broken. He goes, you broke his leg. What are you going to do? Give him some of your lunch, gal. That'll make him feel good. And then Lita says, you know what? Your leg's not broken. She didn't even run into you. No one talks back to us. And then I flam him and slam him on the ground. And I say you're sorry to the young lady and run off. He goes, I'm sorry, and runs away. I say, take care. And keep in mind that in Deke, I said, you know what? You need to say you're sorry to the young lady. She didn't do anything to you. And then, so then after that, we're back after that, it's lunchtime and everybody's outside because it's a good day. And I see Lita, who I don't know is Sailor Jupiter or Sailor King Road yet. Malvin pulls me aside and goes, shit, you should not be talking to her because she got kicked out of her old learn for fighting or something like that. And then I go over to Lita, and Malvin's like, no, even Serena can make friends of everyone. But in Deke, he goes, oh, so now Serena can make friends with a fighting crazy woman or something like that. So then she goes, oh, you're from earlier. And we get to talking with Serena. And I say, no one wants to hang out with me or talk with me. And Serena I tell Lita, I tell you, because folks are frightened of you for, being, for the fighting and everything. And she's like, are you frightened of me? And I say, no, I'm not. And she goes, did you make all that food yourself or did your mother do it? And then I say, it was me that made that. So then after learn, we go to the game middle, and I say, oh, Andrew's not there. And I'm like, who's Andrew? Your older brother, your near kin, your boyfriend? He goes, oh, he's not my boyfriend. And Lita starts playing a Sailor V game. And then Amy and Ray come by. And it goes, this is my good friends Lita. Meet Amy and Ray. And then Ray's like, you know what? I called you, Serena. You were late. Well, how could I be late? I called you about 6 in the morning to be ready to go to a meeting. Why would you call me at 6 in the morning? I'm asleep. I called you at 6 in the morning because I thought you would be awake. That's why I called you. And I'm like, yeah, the fighting shows you get a good friendship. And all we do is rile. And then after that, Luna takes a liking to Lita. Then we see Game Told Joe, who in Viz is called Game Told Troll, because he has this skill to get all kinds of things out of a toy. And he does end up giving these toys away to folks who are needy, out of gifts. At least that's what Deke said, So Zoisite meets up with him, and then Lita helps him. But he's so irked, and Lita starts fighting Zoisite, and then Zoisite goes, "You'll yield for getting in my way." And then, Joe's so ashamed of everybody thinks everybody's a weakling, he runs off. And I'm like, can I keep all the toys? And I go after Joe to see if he's all right. Now, in Deke, he goes, "Don't you know you're not to talk to newcomers? Your game told Joe. Don't you all leave me alone? Not only giving I want, and I want to know if you're all right." He goes, "Yeah, right," and goes inside the eating hall. And then I go, "You don't have to be a creep," which I said in Deke. So I'm in there. So I'm in there with Joe, and Joe tells me that when he was younger, he had this skill to make things float around. He didn't tell folks that because they might freak out. And then Zoisite shows up. There's a fight going on, and she knocks me over with Joe. And then I think that Joe set Lita up, and he goes, "I didn't set her up. I don't know who this Zoisite woman is. Get away out of here if you know what's good for you." And then, well, Zoisite's after Joe. Game told Joe again, and she takes the rainbow hearse, and he becomes a fiend. And Lita comes to help me. Only she's not a sailor fighter yet, but she's still strong. And Luna knows she's a sailor fighter and gives her a shape-shifting stick. And by doing so, she becomes Sailor Jupiter, Sailor Kingrild. And then I say Jupiter Thunder Crash. And then Sailor Moon gets a shape-shifting stick and hits Moon Healing and casts a fiend out of Joe. The next day, we're at the game middle again, and Andrew comes in and goes, "Hey, did you know Game told Joe was around?" I was like, "Yeah, I saw him, but, And then Lita goes, "Oh my, he's so dreamy. He makes me think of my old boyfriend." And then I go, "Lita, grow up. Not everyone can make you think of your old boyfriend, Freddie, who broke up with you." So, really, Deke didn't really cut anything out of this one. The only thing I think Deke may have shifted around was some of the words here and there. But at the end of the day, I don't think they really cut anything out. Let me know if I was wrong about that, but I believe they really didn't cut nothing out of this one, though. All right, we'll see you later.